Well, it's finally time for me to show you my ratty tactics that I use in the Elite Division and to get rank 2s and rank 1s in FUT Champs. It's the 4-2-1-3. Let's get into it. Is your team looking a little something like this on FC25 and you want to upgrade it? Well, today I might have a solution for you with lootbar.gg. Lootbar.gg is the fastest place to get your coins, but not only that, they are also the cheapest. Not only are they 8 to 10% cheaper than all other competitors, they're also considerably cheaper than FC points. On top of that, Lootbar are now also offering 8% extra coins on every single order. You can also now buy packs directly from Lootbar, which is cheaper than on the game. And don't just take it from me, a lot of other creators are using Lootbar. And you know you can trust them because their reviews are brilliant. And on top of all of that, guys, they offer a very, very fast delivery service, getting you your coins within 30 minutes. So if you are looking for FC25 coins, make sure to go to the pinned comment or the description. And when you do go to Lootbar, use code VIPER at checkout to get an extra 8% off. So a few things to say, guys, before we do actually get into the tactics. If you are enjoying the content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You're going to watch the entire of this video because there are some things when we get to the back end of it that I need to show you which change this formation from being ratty to the best formation and the best tactics on the game. And it's quite important that you have the right players to play in this formation. But with that being said, let's get started. So guys, in terms of the actual tactics, we have got here, of course, 4-2-1-3, and this formation is just silly in game. It is really counter-attacking, and it is meant to be played on the break. And with the setup of the roles and the players in certain positions that you're going to try to follow if you can, you'll get more wins in champs and rivals. I promise you, even in that cup as well, if you are trying to sweat out that cup, follow these and they'll help you absolutely massively. So, for the build-up style, balanced. You can actually play on counter on this if you really want to sit deep and just hold and hit on the break, but I think that's far too defensive for this formation. Of course, it is a very, very, very defensive formation anyway, but you play this and you are really inviting a lot of pressure, and if you come up against someone that's good at Trevellas or finesse shots, you're in a lot of trouble. Short passing doesn't work at all in this formation, so we're going to absolutely avoid that. Balance is the best, as you get a bit of both, and it just works the best in my opinion. I have gone for balanced on defensive approach. A lot of people now like to play aggressive and like 60 and 70, but balance for me, with how defensive the formation is already with the 2 CDMs, I think balanced works the absolute best. I think you can change this if you want to. If you want to be more aggressive, you absolutely can if you're trying to win the ball back super duper fast. But in my experience, playing in Elite and going at the high elo in Champs, I also went 12-0 in the Cup, I think playing on balanced is the best because you're not inviting too much pressure, but you're also not too high up the pitch that you'll get done by incisive pass plus and long ball pass plus, stuff like that. So I would say, I would recommend to go with balanced. But now it's where it gets really important. And I'm going to try and explain these best I can because it's not one of them ones where you just take the code and try it out. You have to kind of follow me with the instructions. We're going to start at the top, and I have got on Return, inside forward plus plus, of course, and roaming. Now, this is pretty standard for your wingers in this formation to put them on inside forward and roaming. The idea behind roaming is that they come a bit more central and they're essentially playing like the 4-3-2-1, left forward and right forward. That's kind of what this does. But what I would say, and I would recommend, is have someone here who is left-footed. For Trevellas, make sure you learn how to green Trevellas. But having this here and having a left footer here is so dangerous. This Return is one of my favourite players on the game. She's got the 5-star weak foot, so you can still finesse on her right foot. But more importantly, she's got Trevella plus. She's got insane Trevellas. She's left-footed. That is why I've gone for her there. On the right-hand side, we have got Lauren James. Once again, she is going to be on inside forward plus plus and roaming. Once again, not so similar to Return because she doesn't have finesse plus. The idea with this right winger, power, pace, Trevellas again. She is very, very quick. She's very strong. She actually does quite well against Theo Hernandez. And what I recommend here is a right footer that's got a bit of strength, a bit of physicality to them to kind of fight up against the fullback. You know, we don't really have that with Return, but Lauren James kind of equalises that as being the more powerful winger. Still on Roman, still on the side forward. Inside forward, for the most part, in my experience, is to kind of angle for Trevellas. So there's not really much point playing with the inside forward unless you're very, very good at Trevellas. You're more likely to go for like winger and look for cutbacks, in my personal experience. But roaming kind of gives you a bit more fluidity and a bit more creativity in the wide positions, which I think is really important. Pele, who is my striker, doesn't have too much going on here. I have tried false 9 on Pele. Doesn't really work. He drops too deep, and you don't want essentially 2 cams with Palmer there as well. You don't want that. So I have gone for advanced forward plus on Pele. Just leave it on attack. He is there to finish off the chances. He's there for the cutbacks. He's there for the rebounds. He's very good at that. He's very fast as well. Very creative, which I think is very important. We've got that across the entire front line. Is a lot of creativity. In terms of the cam, now this is where it's going to get very interesting. It's not playmaker, which a lot of people do recommend. It's not half winger. That's terrible in this formation. It's also not shallow striker, because with shallow striker, if you put this on, they're going to be sitting on the toes of the striker, and you don't want that. They're too close together. I really like, and this is going to be difficult for a few of you to get this, I really like Classic 10. A traditional attacking midfielder through whom most creative and attacking play will go through. It's exactly what you want at cam in this formation. If you can't get this to work on a plus, I recommend playmaker and unbalanced. But with Classic 10 plus, they're always in the kind of attacking areas. They're not really ever trying to defend, and they're just there to kind of once again be creative. We have got an insanely creative front four here, and Palmer is the one that's going to be getting the assists and also scoring the finesse shots and Trevellas. He's a very good passer. That's the one thing that I would say you want here, is incredibly good passing. That is the main thing. 5-star skills as well, if you know how to utilise them, very important. But make sure you've got someone that's got incisive plus, or at least incisive silver, and a few passing play styles. Palmer is brilliant there for me. Very good at finding the through balls, which ultimately is what he's there to do. In terms of the CDMs, this is where we go a bit different again as well. I've tried wide half, I've tried centre half. I really like centre half in a 1 DM formation. Holding plus is good, but I really like deep line playmaker plus, and also build up. So with this, it seems that they don't sit so deep and you're just set up with a block of 6 defending. They do have a bit of attacking nous to them as well. They're not super attacking, but what I like from my 2 CDMs is when there's a counter-attack opportunity, I want them to bring the ball forward, drive into space, and that's what I've got with both my CDMs. They're both super fast, both have rapid silver, which once again is really good because you can drive into space and trust them to drive into space. Once again with Mateus, even though he only has plus, he is going to be on exactly the same. They do defend for the most part, but they also have a bit more license to go forward and get into areas where Cole Palmer's picking up right now, as you can see there. It works really well. It works really well. It doesn't mean that you're sitting in that low block constantly, which I think is really important for this formation. A lot of people just set this up on holding plus on both your DMs, and you're sitting with a block of 6 at the back and 4 up front. It isn't that simple with this formation if you want to have a bit more creativity and not just invite pressure. So this works really well. If you can get both on plus, awesome. But I found no issues with this. Make sure you put them on build up as well. As you can see there, it says, when set to build up, the deep line playmaker will move forward and offer a passing option to support attacks, which is incredible in this formation. I'm telling you, it is one of the biggest things with the formation, but not the biggest, because now we've got to talk about the fullbacks. We've got Alphonso Davies, and this is an Evo card. He is going to be on falseback plus. Now, falseback for me is the most important role in any of my teams. What falseback does is brings them into midfield, and while some people might not like this because it leaves you isolated at the fullback position, it overloads the midfield every time. It overloads any opponent's midfield every single time, and when you're in possession, you are never ever going to have no options, which I really like. And also, something I'm going to show you shortly, I'm going to cut to gameplay very shortly. Falseback also offers something absolutely brilliant as well, especially if you can find it. I need a cosmetic Evo to give Kimmich falseback plus. This is unbelievable, what I'm showing you right now. You can do this with incisive plus, and you can also do it with long ball pass plus or silver. The manual over the top to the wide players is so broken. And I also get that from Ferdinand as well. He offers that with long ball pass plus also. But you're able to flip the ball over to your wingers so comfortably. and it starts insane counter-attacks, relieves crazy pressure for you, and it is the most important thing with this formation. As you can see here, the way it sets up is not your traditional 4-2-1-3 that you've probably seen from people, but it gives you the ability to overload the midfield at all times. It gives you 4 in attack. It also gives you the ability to constantly hold the ball and constantly be dangerous. These false backs are so good defensively as well. I've had no issues with them defensively. What I would say is make sure they've got good stamina, but they also offer you chances for Travellas as well because they're a bit more forward than you'd expect from fullbacks generally on this game. I think these are the best tactics I've put together on this game. I hope I've explained it well, because it's not just as simple as put 6 at the back and have 4 in attack. It's not that simple. There is a code on your screen right now as well, guys. This will change your game. It will take a bit of time to get used to. It will change your game. I promise you, I'm not capping. These are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. Make sure you try and learn the Travellas. Make sure you try and learn the manual over the tops as well, which I did show. It works so well, guys. It's so overpowered. It's so good. And it's not your traditional. So give it a go. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And if you have enjoyed this video, guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, send us a video. But guys, that's going to be it from me for now. So take care.